Following a successful operation yesterday, a new group of hostages and prisoners are due to be released today. More trucks carrying much-needed humanitarian aid and fuel going into Gaza as the 4-day truce holds. The European Union reiterates support for Ukraine in its fight against Russia, while Hungary threatens to veto more aid. The first group of hostages being escorted to Red Cross vehicles to be transported to Israel via Egypt. There was joy and relief on both sides of this war on Friday night as the minutely prepared exchange went ahead without a hitch. 13 Israelis, including 4 children, 10 Thais and 1 Filipino released on the one side. And in the West Bank, 15 minors and 24 Palestinian women returned to their families from an Israeli prison.
أنا صح مبسوطة بس بنفس الوقت الإشي كثير بيضايق الموضوع كثير بيضايق كثير إن إحنا يعني ثمن الإفراج عنه هو عمليا دم الشهداء اللي نزل بغزة. أنا بتمنى إن هم كلياتهم يكونوا بخير حاليا وإن شاء الله بتنتهي الحرب قريبا.
While the 4-day truce appears to be holding, this is just a pause in what has been a deadly war with massive destruction in Gaza.
במהלך ימי ההפוגה צה"ל ישלים את ההיערכות ואת המוכנות לשלבי המלחמה הבאים. כוחות צה"ל מוכנים ודרוכים בכל הזירות. המדיניות שלנו ברורה. נפעל כנגד כל איום למדינת ישראל.
Israel reiterated, however, that its goal remains to destroy Hamas. Both sides are under pressure to extend the 4-day truce, to allow for the release of more hostages and to get further humanitarian aid into Gaza. Israel says it's received the list of captives to be released on Saturday. Trucks carrying much-needed humanitarian aid into Gaza through the Rafah border crossing. Officials say more than 200 of them entered the Palestinian enclave on Friday and more are expected today. Shortages of food, fuel, water and medicine have worsened in recent weeks, with aid agencies warning of a dire situation.
And hundreds more trucks are getting in position as well, ready to enter Gaza over the coming days to support the innocent Palestinians who are suffering greatly because of this war that Hamas has unleashed. Hamas doesn't give a damn about them.
Meanwhile, the pause in hostilities has given people in Gaza the first night of peace in 7 weeks of war. Yesterday, many went to check on their homes, some to see what they could salvage from the ruins. At Khan Yunis, in the south of the enclave, wounded Palestinians from Gaza City have been arriving at Al-Nasser hospital after being evacuated by the Red Cross. As Russia's relentless war in Ukraine continues, sirens went off again overnight across much of the country. Officials in the capital Kyiv say it experienced the largest Russian drone attack in the over 20 months of hostilities, with at least 5 people wounded. As the world focuses on the Middle East, at a meeting on Friday, the European Union and Canada reiterated their support for Ukraine.
We support Ukraine and will support Ukraine for as long as it takes. On the EU side, we have already delivered 83 billion euros in support for Ukraine in various fields, financial dimension, military dimension, and we are ready to do more. In the weeks to come, we will make additional decisions. I'm optimistic with our member states in that field.
Assistance to Ukraine will be on the agenda when the European Council meets in Brussels in December. Hungary's threat to block all EU aid to Kyiv will likely win support from the new Slovakian leader, Robert Fico. UN Secretary-General Antonio Guterres visiting melting glaciers in the Antarctic on Friday. He was there to raise awareness of global warming ahead of the UN climate conference COP28, which gets underway at the end of the month.
Antarctica has been called the sleeping giant, and it is being awoken by climate chaos. Antarctica sea ice is at an all-time low.
He urged nations to use COP28 to take immediate action to prevent the world continuing to warm at the current rate.